is unlikely that you have ever seen a movie like The Shootist. In it, John Wayne gives the most remarkable performance of his career.
I have a cancer. I'm dying of it.
Before his time runs out, he'll teach a boy to be a man. Ron Howard and John Wayne in his finest role, the man they called The Shootist.
Before Clint Eastwood, there was only one true legend of the West when it came to old-fashioned westerns. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was John frickin' Wayne. And today we're gonna do his gun, and thank you, Lord, someone requested this, and I am so sorry it took so long to get to this, but I I had to be spot on with this just to make sure I wasn't screwing with a actual true Western legend that I swear to God is the only one that will ever top Clint Eastwood. That all said, I'm gabbing. Let's go make a gun, shall we? And before I completely forget, we can thank the Vidic09 for this request and an excuse to watch a phenomenal film. Dude, I am so happy you pointed this out to me. I didn't want to honestly touch John Wayne's stuff for the simple fact that it's John frickin' Wayne. And I feel like I would not do the man justice, but because it's a request, I finally got over my fear of that, and I went and made his great Western revolver. And this is essentially it right here, and it's about the one time I actually had to change out the grip. First time for everything, I suppose. Now, before I get into anything else, as usual, we're going to go with a short barrel, and if we want to be true to the gun, stock iron sights, but you know what? No, we have to be true. It's John Wayne. We have to be true. We gotta remove that frickin' sight. Lord almighty. Now, his gun is absurdly freaking fine. I mean, wicked fine. Like, I feel bad even touching this gun and trying to remake it. That said, I still give it my good old attempt. When it comes to barrel, cylinder, frame, and sight, I went with blackened steel, because this sucker, it shines, but not because of the steel on it. It shines because of the engravings on it, but we'll get to that in a moment. For the hammer and the trigger, I went with nickel plating. Kind of a personal preference, but this is going to be a dealer's choice kind of thing. You can go with just flat steel, which would work, or you can go even with silvered, which is also fantastic and shines. Now, when it comes to engravings, this kind of got to me because his gun is just covered in engravings, so I had to find one that kind of fit that, or at least covered a majority of the gun itself. So I went with Victorian here. I honestly went with the iron inlays because the engravings on his gun, they don't look like they have anything inlaid to them. It literally looks like someone just carved out the design on the gun itself, leaving the steel underneath the show and shine through it all. So I thought that, honestly, this is a weird design. I've never done stuff like this. No carvings on the grip. Varnish. Now, finally, we changed up from mahogany. We went with maple because his gun grips, for once, I need to watch way more old westerns. His gun grips have this weird kind of almost yellow tinge to them. And after going through a couple screenshots, seeing a couple clips, I felt the maple was a really good fit for it. Now, sadly, when it comes to stock images on this was an old movie, so there's not many stock images of the actual gun used, but there's plenty floating around from various clips, various rips from VHSs. Yeah, this is back in the day of VHS. Holy crap. Even that trailer, if that was 30 seconds, that was a VHS trailer. And I really wish I had more of those that were that short, because it's fantastic. Oh, that's essentially it. Short barrel, all black and steel, save for the hammer and the trigger. And iron engravings, a maple grip. It's about as close as we can get, I feel. I gotta... I need to go and, what am I gonna do? You know what? Actually, there's those two guys. The two guys that always challenge you to frickin' sharpshooter bets and all that, where you're shooting bottles and birds and such. I'm going to go see if I can hunt one of them down real quick for fun. That all said, let's go ahead to a quick breakdown of our finished product and the best photo I have for a comparison, as well as the final stats to make the gun, shall we? Now, I personally feel guilty even trying to do this gun, because his is fully, and I mean fully engraved right down to that front sight, and there's sadly no option to really do that. That said, I think we gave it a good old attempt. Now, again, sadly, I'm not going to be able to throw out a decent stock photo of this, but I did come up with something. Thank you to Pinterest for providing this sucker. Now, due to the lighting in this picture, it's going to seem a little off, but I promise this is about as good as we can get. And as I said before, the engravings on the gun itself seem like actual just engravings. There's no inlay whatsoever in them. They're just engravings. The hammer and the trigger shine against the blackened steel of the frame, cylinder, and barrel. And yes, that grip is in fact some other color than mahogany. Like I said, I think this is about as close as we're going to be able to get in Red Dead Redemption 2. And again, thank you to the Vidic09 for the suggestion. And again, apologies it took so long. That said, I do hope you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and by all means, leave a comment with your own personal request of a legendary western you want to see remade in Red Dead Redemption 2. But that all said, till next time, kids, take care now. Bye-bye then.